guess I won the last game, eh? So it's my deal. Is that how it works? Is that how we've been doing it? I'm not sure.
Honestly, I don't know anymore.
Oh, you don't know? I think that's how
I don't like
it.
playing when I lose.
Well, that's okay. You're still ahead, technically. You know?
The idea of a sore loser is like, what even is like, it's like, it's something that like I am for sure a sore loser.
Okay.
But like my stomach hurts losing that last game, and
like for real, you're still like
my stomach hurts right now. I am
really
mad
that you lost at Go Fish while we're talking about Payback.
Yes, I'm very mad, and
wow.
I'm not a good loser. And I think it's like I think about being a contestant on. If I was on Payback as a player,
you would have flipped the table.
I would have got if I lost every episode or like didn't do well. Like I don't even know what it is. Like I have no reason to want to be good at games, but like I just don't like losing.
Right.
Like it's really a problem. And
it's very funny that you talk about that, because ultimately, like when I called Deanne Smith and pitched them the idea about this whole thing, to them, it was just fun and board games, and it wasn't about winning, and it wasn't about anything. It was just about playing with your friends and hanging out, and that was it. You know what I mean? So kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
And Deanne had a ton of fun, even though, spoiler, they don't win any money for their charity. However, you know what I mean?
But Deanne did push Niall.
Deanne and Niall pushed each other, which was great.
Yeah.
Even though Niall had nothing to sort of win. You know?
No, but Niall was like
the antagonist.
He was, and I'm curious to know, like, you know, did Niall have anyone in mind to win over someone else?
Oh, you know, like was he secretly rooting for somebody to win?
And I wonder, like, and this is also like, I'm happy that we're kind of talking about the, you know, this post, even though, you know, we've wrapped the show now for a little bit of time, and where it is, you know, we're airing it on Bell 5, which is going to be awesome, and we're happy to have them. And like, I'm curious to know, like,
should we note that this is the first board game content on Bell 5?
Yeah, and that was actually pretty cool to find out.
That's super cool. Like, I mean, that's something I didn't realize.
When we move forward with this, and they were, you know, it's a TV show. It's totally understandable that they're like, what's the point of it?
Right.
And that was where, you know, we had to like kind of think tank it a bit, and then have the payback element.
Yes.
Which was now like you all are gonna like survivor vote.
Exactly. Yeah.
For someone to have to do like an Impractical Joker style prank on the street, or however that was. And it totally makes sense, and we pulled off what we did. You know, obviously anything could be better. I don't think it was bad for what it was. I think it could have. It could always be better and evolve. But in the idea of the rules lawyer, is it something to think about that they rotate? And maybe this is something we can talk to Niall about and get actual feedback to say, hey, maybe Niall wanted to play one of the games, or maybe Ted or whoever the rules lawyer would be, like. Because it's like in a group of friends, we always come back to this word dynamic.
Yeah.
Is it like, who is essentially dictated as, is it the same person all the time?
Right.
Or,
I mean, I would think if you played with the same group of friends all the time, the roles would never change.
So if you played with your friends,
and it doesn't matter what game we're playing, there's always going to be one.
You know that this person knows the most. They're always in charge.
Even when I set up the game, right? The rule book sits closest to the person who I know is going to read it through the game.
But they are playing the game.
They're also playing, and in between their turns, they're like double checking stuff, and they're rereading, and they're, you know what I mean? And for me, I just want to play and have fun, and you
don't want to think about the rules.
Charcuterie and drinks and whatever. Like, that's kind of what games are to me, right? It's a great social sort of fun thing to do, and it doesn't matter who wins or loses.
No, well, for me it does.
Well, that's why you're never invited to my house for games.
But like, this is interesting because the game, like we were saying, it evolved so much from the initial concept, where the rules lawyer or host kind of combined it into one thing, but they weren't even supposed to be at the table at all.
Initially, no.
So that's why Niall, the games that we ended up having, Niall couldn't have really played the games because they weren't for
5 players
five
or
players, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they were more for 4 people, except for paranormal
Detectives. Yeah. I mean, you could still play paranormal detectives with 4 people. However,
one of them would have been
one of them would be out for that game. And
Yeah.
since we were doing an accumulative tournament style,
Yes.
that's the only way we were going to make it work.
And that's what it was, a tournament style, because if we had 5, then it wouldn't have made it.
We couldn't give away the points, and then there was no
Yes.
charity thing. That was the hard part.
This is us trying to figure out the rules on the back end.
Well, this
of
is
the show.
also us getting the games in advance from the publishers and not knowing what the games were or how they exactly played. We were just happy that there was publishers that were, willing to take a chance on this silly little project.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we were not going to be nitpicky about which games. Now we'll have a bit more structure, because our initial assessment when Jay and I were talking, we're like, okay, we need a game that 4 people can play. There has to be a clear winner, right? So cooperative games don't work for this format.
Yes.
Right? That kind of thing.
And that, well, I guess speaking of format, I'm going to start this off here. Do we have
it's only because losers go first in this game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to start high. Do you have any kings?
I don't have any kings. No. Nope. But you've got a jack you want to give me.
I unfortunately don't.
Oh, really?
Which I'm very happy about not having.
All right.
Do you have any 8s?
I don't have any 8s. Nope. But a 6 I would take.
Nope, don't got it.
Mm.
What about any 5s?
I don't have any 5s. How about a 4?
Nope.
Wow, we're off to a rockin' start here.
This is not a good start here. Do you have any aces?
I do have an ace. Only one, though.
Okay, I'll take it, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you have any kings?
Goldfish.
Goldfish.
What about a 6? You got a 6?
No.
You didn't pick up a 6? I did, but you could have picked one up.
Do you have any 5s?
I don't.
Oh, I just picked up a 5.
Oh, see, you are lucky at this.
Show the camera.
Or just showing the camera so you're not cheating. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any 3s? Thank you. So I go again.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any 8s?
No.
Okay.
What about a 7?
No.
No?
8. Do you have any 10s?
I don't. You know what I do have, though? Is I have an 8.
Okay.
So do you have any 8s?
Yes.
Oh, I'll take those.
This is are you asking me? Or?
Yeah, I'm asking you. That's my turn right there.
Oh, man.
You have any 2s?
Nope.
Mm,
Go fish. Do you have any 5s?
I don't.
Okay. This is
You
stupid.
You got 7s?
No, go fish. Do you have any 6s?
I do.
Thank you. Okay, now we're going to go back to kings. Do you have any kings? Thank you. I'm going to close this one down. That would have been the best, because I had those 3 kings right off the start.
That was my next ask, just so you know.
Well, good. I'm happy that it came through then. Do you have any 6s?
I don't. I just gave you 2, dude.
Oh, my God.
I just gave you 2.
I was thinking, I'm like, why am I thinking about a 6?
I don't know. But do you have a 9?
I don't think so. Give me 1 second. I got cards all over.
You got a
the
lot of
place
cards.
here. No.
All right, great.
Do you have any 3s?
I don't. Do you have any 2s?
No 2s. Do you have any 5s?
Nope. Do you have any 4s?
Yes.
Sweet. Do you have an 8?
No. Look, my hand is cramping holding all these cards.
Oh, there you go.
Do you have any 5s?
I don't have any 5s.
Did I ask you that last time?
You did, yeah. But I did pick up a card, but it was an ace. So I'll take those if you have them. I'll help you get rid of some of the cards in your hand. Yeah, right there. How about a 7? You got a 7?
No.
In there? In that mix? Oh, look at that. Do you have any 9s?
You know, I don't like it when it's not happening for me.
I know.
Yes, here.
Oh, look. That's 3 in a row. You have any jacks? Not that I'm keeping track. 4. Do you have any 2s?
No, thank God.
I think that was my fault there.
Do you have any 6s?
I don't have any 6s. God. But did you pick up a 10?
Nope, but I do have one.
All right,
I have 2.
Oh, great. I'll take those. Did you take it? How about an 8?
No 8s.
Oh, so close.
What about jacks?
Yeah, you can suck it, dude.
Okay, thank you. 5? Do you have any 5s?
I don't have any 5s.
1 second. I just got to close this down.
Yeah.
Threes.
Yeah. You have a 7?
No. Do you have any queens?
No.
I just picked up a queen.
Oh,
For the camera.
That's twice,
Camera
dude.
one, camera 2.
That's twice.
Do you have any 6s?
I don't.
Okay.
Did you pick up a 9? Sweet. What about a 4?
No.
I'm going to pick a 4 up right here. Watch this.
No, you probably picked up a 5.
I did not.
Do you have any 5s?
I don't. No.
Okay. I guess I had to go with that.
Yeah, but I did pick up a 6, if you have any of those.
You know what? The 666 is always killing me.
I know. Do you have a 4?
No, thank God. Do you have any queens?
Nope. 8? Oh, 7? You have a 4?
No.
You have a queen? You have a 5? You have a queen?
Come on.
Ugh! You know what? This is the kind of excitement that Niall shared with us.
Well, it's like, it's interesting because I'm getting so mad right now.
I know, it's amazing.
So happy when I was winning.
Well, you know, we still got 6 episodes to go.
But like, was Niall, and this is like kind of like, I guess, the shitty thing. Like, was Niall like, what's the word?
Strong-armed?
No, like, what's it called when you miss out on something? Like
FOMO?
Yeah, like did Niall have FOMO from?
You know what? I don't know. This is something we ask him because ultimately, in my opinion, watching Niall there, while the people were focusing on their turns and things, he had the opportunity to like jab and dig and you know what I mean? And I think he really got into it.
Yeah.
And that is the way he played. I mean,
For sure.
Once we did Paranormal Detectives, he was amazing.
And
he was amazing.
And that's the thing, because Niall was like now a part of the game and having a good time. And again, like Niall and Deanne are really good friends. And you were saying that Deanne was actually the one that initially pushed for Niall.
Yes. Well, not even pushed for. It was just, again, this is like 2020. I'm in Vancouver. Jay and I have this crazy loose idea. And I sent Deanne a message because I had worked with them before and I knew Deanne was into board games.
Yes.
So I sort of pitched the idea very loosely and said, do you know any other comedians who might be into board games? Because they said Niall Sagan, who I've worked with before, amazing, and Ted Morris, who I just worked with at the last Comedy Fest. So I phoned Ted and Ted said, you got to check out this guy named Jay Cormier. He made all these amazing games. And I was like, I'm sitting across the table from Jay Cormier right now. And like Ted was like crazy. Yeah, because Jay made a game called Belfort and he did In the Hall of the Mountain King.
So Ted knew who Jay was.
Exactly. But they had never met, right? But Ted was a fan of Jay's games.
That to me is like
that
when
to me,
something is supposed to work.
Well,
like,
that to me
sign.
Just puts a further nail into Ted can't be there and meet Jay,
guess,
right? Because I mean,
this is the life of a comedian. It's very, tragedy plus time equals comedy.
Yeah.
And, Ted is such a killer comic because Ted has bad luck in some scenarios, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, because for Ted to be the most excited to be there,
I know,
mentions Jay, who's one of the co-creators.
Before he even knew Jay was my friend,
Like, what is the chance of that? But I am curious to talk to Niall, get some insight on, and also we're figuring out moving forward. This is a little bit of a think tank in itself.
Of course.
Where it's like, would it make sense to have the rules lawyer rotate for a season 2,
Maybe, yeah.
And that's the thing, because I don't know the role of that person, and I would be curious to talk to Niall about that.
I think the role is mostly something we created to help move the game along.
For sure.
And like I said, Ted had probably a different style or a different way that it would have been presented, which we will never know if it would be good or bad.
Well, think about poker. They have the big blind and the small blind, where we have a chip that is like, you're the rules lawyer,
right?
You're the rules lawyer.
Yeah,
And,
it rotates.
and I do hope Niall will be candid with us to see, because I think we would like to know, like, hey, like,
does he want to come back and do another one
as a full rules lawyer, or would it be like, let's rotate it?
Is he a contestant?
Yeah.
And then, that kind of thing.
Because we're now getting into like the contestants where, we talked about our little journey ourselves and Brian being the last person thing. But now we have Deanne, who we're going to be talking with next week. And I'm curious to hear, like, did Niall want to play with Deanne and Christoph and
Heather
them? Or is it like, no, I was cool to sit there and kind of observe the world that was happening.
Right.
So
that's a great conversation for sure.
Let's talk to Niall, and we'll be, kind of getting into the whole idea with Deanne next week. And so we're gonna. I'm so mad. So it's 3-2 right now.
That's right. It's pretty close. Yeah, you're pretty much losing at this point.
Well, let's see what Niall has to say about this, because I might have to go for a walk.
Okay.